What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with another episode of Serious Jank. You know, it's that kind of jank that might actually be quite serious. And without further ado, I think it's about time that we jump into tonight's brews. As often is the case with, you know, serious jank or brewing with, we have multiple versions that we can check in on, and then kind of play both and figure out if there's a better version that we can combine the two into. And we're going to be focusing on green and black Golgari enchantments. Probably going to start with Riding Toads first, and then we'll try Horobi over here second. And the reason why we're doing this is because I've put a poll up on my community tab on the channel, on the YouTubes, and you know, there's an equal number of votes on all the decks, so I couldn't pick one. There was no clear winner at the moment I hit record. So what I'm going to ask you all to do is to please go and cast your votes in the poll, so that the next video that we do, I'll actually be able to play one of those brews from the poll. But for tonight, fortunately, I had these, you know, slightly jankier, fun brews on the back burner that I've been saving for an episode of Brewing With, and so here we are. So, Riding Toads, if you haven't guessed already, features Tatsunari, one of the cards from Kamigawa that saw very little play, the Toad Rider. It's a 3/3 human ninja, legendary, for 3 mana. And it says that whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't already control a creature named Kami, you create Kami, which is a 3/3 legendary black and green frog creature token with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then you can pay 1 and a you know, it's these dual mana pips, so either green or blue. And then you can give it and the target frog you control, you know, they become unblockable, except by creatures with flying or reach. So nice little flavor, you know, because it's a frog, it's jumping. I guess things with reach or with flying can grab the jumping frog, but everybody else can't. So it's like a little temp fly over things, and that can be very game ending in the right you know, situation. So be aware of that little extra mode there. It's very, very important to potentially getting you through for that last. Sometimes it can be, you know, if you've put something like Twisted Embrace, which is another very important card of the deck, or because there's more than one way of making both Tatsunari and Kami bigger. Jugan, you know, puts +1/+1 counters and up to 2 creatures on the second chapter. Or if you've already got Remnant of the Rising Star in play and then you play a Tatsunari, you can make it huge. Or you can pick, you know, the give target creature +2/+2 mode of the first 2 chapters of the life of Toshiro Umezawa and put it on the Tatsunari or on Kami, and then pay the you know, the 1 in the green or blue to make them unblockable. There's so many ways in which we can buff these two things that at some point we can pay that, make them virtually unblockable, and swing in for the kill. And that's our main win con. But of course, it's not the only one. I always try and diversify things a little bit. So we're relying on the already very strong green enchantments brew that we came up with not so long ago, where we know Generous Visitor and Kami of Transience and the new Audacity form the backbone of an already very strong deck. But by splashing black, we get access to some great removal and a couple of nice black enchantments. So black enchantment of choice number 1 is Clawing Torment. It's one of these auras that you attach onto an opponent's creature, and it gets -1/-1, and it can't block. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life. So you know, your opponent will lose 1 life. So if you add that little bit of drain from the Clawing Torment onto the drain and gain from Kami here, that says that whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. It starts to add up, and you know, will end up bringing you closer to the final victory with the Kami, as I mentioned, and the Tatsunari, as I mentioned earlier in the introduction. Then we've got Okiba, Reckoner Raid, and 2 Bankbusters. Like, I can't play this card without playing this card. Like, they just, like, these two need to be, if this is in the deck, then this needs to be in the deck. That's just my opinion. It's not an enchantment, so you're like, the rest of the deck really needs enchantments. This is the one non-enchantment, but it draws us, yeah. We got the Mech Hangar, we got the Bankbuster, we got the Okiba Reckoner Raid. I'm happy. Everything else can just be fully focused on, like, the enchantment synergies, but don't touch me, my Reckoner Bankbusters. So we do have some card draw here. We can also draw some cards when the Audacity dies. Other card draw, very little. So just use it sparingly, use it when you need it. And yeah, don't forget that the Okiba, once it becomes the Nozumi Road Captain, will give your Bankbuster menace. Can end games out of nowhere. What else? Of the black cards that we get because of this black splash into the green enchantments deck. Ooh. Ooh. Hello, we're back. We've got removal. Go for the throat, Infernal Grasp. Just bam, 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 and Tear Asunder. So, like, a fair bit of removal that I've put in the deck. Of course, don't forget about the -1/-1 from the Life of Toshiro Umezawa and the Clawing Torment. Those can count as removal, but it doesn't end there. We've also got Twisted Embrace, which happens to fit the package just so perfectly. For those of you who have not seen this card yet, you're welcome. 4 mana. It's a lot, yes, but when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Yes, very nice. And it gives +1/+1. So when you have Tatsunari in play, you can enchant it on Tatsunari. You can enchant it on the Kami. You can enchant it on another creature. It doesn't matter. Or you may not have Kami yet. You cast the Twisted Embrace, you will get the Kami. And you can make your Tatsunari a 4/4 and destroy a creature or planeswalker when it enters the battlefield. Like, it just fits so perfectly, Twisted Embrace. You can put it on your Jugan, you can put it on your... There's so many great places where you can put it. And the fact that it's creature or planeswalker, and it gets a little bit of extra buff, and it's an enchantment, so it triggers all your enchantment synergies, just makes it the perfect card for this deck, IMO. And then the last one that I wanted to bring up was just a sneaky one of Gloom Shrieker, which also happens to be an enchantment, so again, triggering all of the enchantment synergies, but also returns a target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Then if it would die, exile it instead. Who cares? It's done its job already. And that's the deck. Pretty simple game plan. Just play creatures that benefit from you then later playing enchantments, and then later play enchantments. And back it all up with some fairly good removal. Hopefully that should win us the games. We've even got a flyer in the Remnant of the Rising Star, the pseudo flying or unblockability, or the maybe we can call it leapfrog of Tatsunari and Kami. I think I've done enough rambling. The last thing I need to mention is 1 Boseiju, 1 Takenuma, and then I put in some utility lands. 1 Blast Zone, 2 Grottos, 1 Demolition Field, 1 Mech Hangar. The rest are just duels and basics, as always. Let's jump into some games. See how the deck performs. I'll just play this in Mythic. Like, yeah, it's probably not super duper Mythic ready, but it's nearing the end of the month. I'm also on the road. Those of you who've been following for the last few days will know that this may be my second last video in Italy, and then there'll be one more video probably from Rome in the next couple of days, and then the next time you guys will see me, I'll be in India. So yeah, just bear with me, guys, please. Don't go nowhere. Don't unsubscribe. Your brewmaster is not going anywhere. He's just traveling. Alright, sold the arrows. Look at this. L. Okay. Doesn't have that lay down arms or whatever yet. It's not usable with only 1 planes. Maybe Brute Cathar. Be real pain in my ass. Because we don't have you know, the Talia is taxing our Tear Asunder. Okay. One more land, please. Oh no, we don't need it. We've got the monk. We can use the mana from the monk to cast the Twisted Embrace. The Aminal. Was it supposed to be the animal? Or Aminal. There he is. That's just fine with me. Fine and dandy. Now, the question is... I think we do this. Saving this guy for the throat for potential copies of Mire, the 4-drop they play in this deck. This deck just wouldn't exist with Me Took Massacre. This deck just wouldn't exist, which is the reason they banned Me Took over Invoke Despair IMO. But again, a little bit of tinfoil hat action. Okay. For what? We go for 3. No. 2 plus 3. We don't really have anything to bring back. I think it's time to use our... Go for the throat. Very cheeky. Very cheeky. I forgot Talia. The cost reduction. Now we can use the Gloom Shrieker nicely. Top deck one land, we can play both. Sure, bro. I like soldiers are starting to be so dull to play against. Okay. I think that might be a bad call. I just can't stand it anymore. It's making me so sick of playing Magic, this deck in particular. Fortunately, I don't see it as much as I thought you would, you know, like, it's so damn good. Everybody gets flying. Woo! +2/+2. Get fucked. And stuff yourself. Go and jump in a lake. Ooh, Goose Frabber. Okay. I love how the Okiba mitigates a little bit of the life loss from the Painlands. Come on, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, let's go. We all know you've got that on turn 3, because... Oh wow, okay. That's pretty pathetic. I say. Playing a Corpse Appraiser with nothing to exile is about as bad of a play as it comes. Okay. Seems pretty decent. Nice. And so? What was the point of that? I could have won, I think. But I didn't want to risk it. And I'm fairly certain they're going to hit us with like a Shieldred or something. And then we can just win more cleanly next turn. No worries, mate. Stupid deck. Stupid, boring deck. Stupid, boring card. We're all entirely sick of seeing Corpse Appraisers and Fables at this point, guys. Like, I don't know about you, but yawn fest. Please just change decks for once. Oh, it's been like there's been a bit of a shift in the meta. For those of you who follow these things carefully, as I do, you may have noticed that the last couple of days, even closer to a week, is it Power Stones or is it Ramp, as they're calling it, has sort of taken the meta by storm. And now we'll see like how that'll adapt. Like, you know, aggro will probably have to come back a little bit, even though mono red is still a little bit all over the place. I guess the real problem is best of 1 and best of 3 are so different that a lot of the times when I'm talking about this stuff, it's like, oh, which are you talking about? Thank you, boy. Hmm, 24 lands in the deck.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault. I've always hated crowds.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's enough to crew the Bankbuster so we can swing at Lily, then I'm good.
Sorry, I'm not interested in dying today.
I'm sorry. Let's go full on freaking here. Do you want to take the trade? Sweet. Still take 4 and you lose your shakedown and I draw a card. I'll take that, man. No problemo. Nice. Perfect. We kept that Tear Asunder. Woo. Let's draw. Perfect. Perfect top deck. Okay. 2 plus 4 equals GG. Unless he's got like removal. Crowd goes wild. Alright guys, so that was version 1. I think we get the idea here. The green enchantments package is very, very strong. Is it worth it, these black cards? I personally think so. But once I got thinking about this, I, of course, always end up with a version 2 or version 3. And this is the evolution. And I'm just calling it Horobi because it's playing a card that also has seen very little play. Called, I think, the Tribute to Horobi. So here's version 2. Very much the same game plan, but here usually what happens with version 2s is they become a lot more streamlined. So less one-ofs, less weird stuff, just like a lot of 4-ofs. Because I really want to get Tatsunari like every single turn 3, and if I don't get Tatsunari, I want Jugan. And so like there's just 4-ofs of everything. But the interesting new addition is the Weaver of Harmony, which allows us to double enchantment triggers by paying 1 green. So with 5 mana, you can double Twisted Embrace something, for example. But the other nice things is, creating double rat tokens with the tribute that then they also. Main reason for version 2, Tribute to Horobi. If you haven't seen this card yet, probably the most unplayed rare card from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. One that I had high hopes for, but then just never really got anywhere. But you make a rat. So each opponent makes a rat rogue creature token every turn for the first 2 chapters, and then when it comes back as Echo of Death's Wail, those rats. You gain control of all the rats and they come to you. And then it's got haste, this Echo of Death's Wail, and you can swing in. And then whenever it attacks, you can sacrifice a creature. You're most often sacrificing those rats, and you draw a card. I don't know. Is this better than, should we just play beg your pardon. The Black Saga, Memory of Toshiro. Is that just better than Tribute? And who cares about drawing cards? Maybe we just put in the Bankbusters like I did in the last deck. But I wanted to test out the Tribute, so this is what I came up with, and I think it's worth testing because it's an interesting card. You get an additional flyer. It also is an enchantment, so again, it works with all your enchantment stuff. Between the Remnant of the Rising Star, Echo of Death's Wail, and the pseudo, leapfrog ability thing of Tatsunari, there's a lot of evasion. I don't know. I haven't tested this one as much as I had the other one, so let's just give it a whirl. But, the Weaver giving us double triggers, there's so many cool things. Like you can, Chapter 2 of Jugan, you put a +1/+1 counter on up to 2 creatures. You do that twice. You can put, little things like that. Or I think you can even, you can draw 2 cards off of Audacity when the creature that, when it ends up in the graveyard. You can have the Clawing Torment trigger twice. Little bits and pieces that I think the Weaver is also a really good idea in the deck. Let's find out if, of the 2, which is better, and then is there a way that we can sort of fuse them into one deck and make a altogether better version 3? Let's find out. One moment. I need to grab my vaporizer. Gooderist. Gooderist. I'll just stick with Gooderist. Now the question with this type of hand is always, do I play the Tatsunari first and then go for the Jugan? Or do we just go Kami into Jugan? Ooh. He's probably going to go for that. It's the prototype deck. Like all the prototype cards and then the planar incision and stuff like that. That would be my first call just from seeing this card, which sees 0 play, and the colors that he's playing. nice that you tap out. But yeah, now I'm very certain. I think we have to go for the double Kami here. That's definitely prototype planar incision. I'm so sure of it. So we just ignore. We don't ignore nothing. We needed another black source so badly there. Oh no. You're gonna play black, you're gonna put Shieldred in your deck. Like, that's just... regardless of whether you're trying to planar incision something or not. Okay. Okay. This is the other way of doing it. Or he's probably got both. So now we can Twisted Embrace. The question is, do we embrace the... I think we have to just get rid of Shieldred, yeah. Even though it's, like my spidey senses are telling me that this is the wrong idea. I'm gonna go for it anyway. Because that's a lot of damage coming through. Then we can play Tatsunari into Remnant of the Rising Star and just dump some mana into it. I told ya. Crew 1. Very nice. I still like my version. I wasn't playing the Argosy. We just have to double swing here and pray for the best. They both kill your Flesh Gorger. Wrong move, bro. Double card draw. Thank you. Now we just make Tatsunari unblockable and swing for the kill. I guess he'll probably just re-Urtai my ass. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Now let's see where he throws that tie. If it goes for my remnant or for the frog. Tie is a problem because he's just going to kill everything we play. It's a big problem. That's a big problem. It's a huge problem. Opponent. Opponent. 3, 4. Oh no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got him. I think I may actually just have him. Don't understand why you would do that. But I think I have you. Because you take 1 life from that. Ooh. 3, 4. Kind of no matter what you do, I've got you, my friend. We can just play Tatsunari and Tribute to Hirobi, and that should do the trick next turn. But very nice. Very nice. I never thought of putting Urtai in there either. It's the Golden Argosy. Urtai is busted. Little sprinkle of salt from Mr. Goodarest over here. Well, while we wait for Salty Man over here, let's have a look at the time. Okay, we're 40 minutes in, so we'll probably get one more match in with this version, and then we'll talk about this archetype, in general. We've done a bit of experimenting of late with enchantments. Green was my personal favorite. Brew was very strong, and one that I'm surprised I don't see more on the ladder. Golgari gives us Tatsunari. And that's fantastic because of things like this. But we didn't really get to see whether the tribute was a good idea or not in any of these matches yet. So we definitely need to give it at least one more. Why so salty? Let's give him the old red shaky fist angry dude. It's on the stack, mate. You either got some life gain or you're dead. Stop being salty and lose the match with dignity. My goodness. It's like little children. I don't think I've ever roped for that reason. The only time I've ever roped anyone, it was internet connection problems. I just think it's so childish. Like, what are you doing, mate? Alright, final match. Let's cast a tribute to Hirobi and see if it's worthwhile. Otherwise, I think version 3 will probably cut that one and put in... what's his name? The guy. Ooh, this is a great hand. Maybe not so much against mono black. Ooh, no cut down in the opening hand. That's a freaking miracle. Probably should have played the Kami, or maybe just go for the throw to the underdog. But I thought he's probably... Yeah, there we go. At least we get the card draw. Okay, guys. Lands. Maybe that's enough flooding, thank you. Sure. There you go. Oh, mono black, mate. Mono black.
I'm taking the credit.
Still, I am on the most broken deck in standard by a long shot. Like, long shot. I threw a deck together within, like, few seconds. Literally, I just went boop, 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 threw together a brew, and I'm sitting on like 12 and 3 with. I just went like, okay, and I don't know. I've started playing less trespassers, more fleshed gorges, and like just play 4 invoke despairs and the usual stuff. And I just went 12 and 4 in less than an hour. The deck is so broken.
Don't overthink things.
Oh wow. Someone's playing Dark Forest. Now we can order our triggers if we do it properly, where we put some +1/+1 counters on Echo of Death's Wail. The thing with Arena that drives me insane. Like, this first... Yeah? So why did you... Whatever, man. The one that you say that you want to go first, is the one that I understand why, because it goes on the stack first, but whatever.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
So, when ordering triggers, the one that you want to go last goes first, not the other way around. One invoke. We're dead. This is so lame, man. This card is so stupid. They need to ban this card. Like, it's ruining my daily experience of Magic. Like, when I play it, I just win non-stop. It feels like cheating. And when it's played against you, you just want to turn the game off. It's so dumb. 3 for 1 every time. The number of times that you get hit with one invoke and then the next turn just another one straight away because they use the card draw to draw into another one. It's just way too broken. Like, they only banned Meat Massacre because they wanted soldiers to be a thing. Otherwise, the actual card that deserved the ban was for sure Invoke Despair and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Way more than the Meat. Gruul. Interesting. Teamer. Okay, let's get a tribute done early then, while we can. And we don't want him to block with these rats. Teamer ramp. That's scary. That could be titans and all sorts of things. We're gonna go Kami into Audacity. And then wait till we get Echo of Death's Wail before we play Jugan. Fable? Could be burn down the houses and all sorts of things in this deck. Sure. Nice. Very nice. I think Burn on the Hearth would be the main problem that we have at this point. Any sort of sweeper, but... Okay. Wow. Random stuff people play in the lower mythics. It's definitely way better than the unranked play queue. If you wanna, like, experience some cool different decks, then, like, get to mythic and then allow yourself to trickle down into the lower mythics. That's when you find the real jank. Okay. I think we got this one in the bag. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Epic. Okay, so it has to be this because I don't want him copying anything with the Fable. Wow, triple Jugan. Sweet. So, I mean... Okay, he's gonna take over something and still lose. Interesting. Someone trying something cool though. That was pretty nice. But I've tested this Spodalian thing. You pay 7 mana to take over like a big creature, you know, and then you just kill it and I get back my creature. Woohoo! Like 1 Infernal Grasp and your whole ramp plan was just destroyed. But I guess you play like maybe a 1-of in your teamer deck. Maybe in the sideboard or something, but yeah. Maybe when more merfolk come out in the next set, or, you know, end of next year with, not the next set, I beg your pardon, it's when we're next going to Ixalan. End of next year, I believe. But we've gone well over the 45-minute mark, and I felt like that was a good final match. So let's dive back in and see what we can do about, you know, coalescing these brews. Version 1... definitely nice. Like, I like this little bit of one-offs. I like the Bankbuster. I like there's a little bit more variety of removal. Life of Toshiro Umezawa, really good. But, you know, maybe not as many enchantments to actually trigger all of our enchantment stuff as I would like. Also, not being able to do the double trigger on the Twisted Embrace with the Dreamweaver or whatever, the Shigeki looking guy. Weaver of Harmony. Then version 2, a lot more enchantments, less removal. I don't know. Is it worth having the Weaver of Harmony for those double triggers? Didn't really come into play much in those 2 matches. Definitely a very small sample size. Tribute to Hirobi as well. I don't know. I think unfortunately we don't have enough time to really make a call on this card. I can't just play another 10 matches or we're going to go well over time. That's what it would require. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do that off camera for you guys and let you know in the coming days what I think about Tribute in a shell like this. But just off of those couple of matches, honestly felt kind of okay. It's just a little bit wonky having to like take the damage from the rats because you don't want the rats to die. And then, you know, you can't attack because he'll just block with the rats, and then you don't want them to die either. Because you want to get those rats so you can eventually draw some cards with them. It feels maybe just a little bit too slow, but just having this additional flyer that you can grow with your visitors, you can grow with your Jugans, you can grow another flyer. Definitely felt pretty nice in that final match there. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe the way to go is something more along these lines. little live brewing session. I would go with three Tatsunari, Jugan, freaking 4 of, destroy, Twisted Embrace, absolutely freaking amazing, and then boop. I like this. I like this. Then we can have some Kami of Transience and the Visitor. But then I do want to play Bankbuster, 2 of, and Okiba, 2 of. And then Grasp. Oop. And Throat. Which leaves us with space. I mean, this is really kind of just version 1 again. For the life of Toshiro Umezawa. Which I would rather kind of try to find a way to find a 4th one. So, I mean a 3rd one. So maybe cutting a Jugan. Or maybe 1 Twisted Embrace. Oh, sorry. There. No, definitely. Not 3 Infernal Grasps. Voila! This is what I think would be the most ideal version. A little bit of card draw. Instead of running the Harobi thing, just use the Bankbuster and the Audacity dying. The Weaver of Harmony, not really that worth it. You're often just playing this on turn 4 when you don't also have like an unsummoning Sict Weaver of Harmony, and you've also got a green source open to pay the additional cost to do the thing. Doesn't happen enough times in testing for me to consider that really the way to go. So again, without rambling for too much longer and without running the risk of repeating myself too many times, something like this would be my definite final version. Of course, with the mana base adjustments as necessary. Let me know what you think down below. As always, I will be seeing you all the day after tomorrow. Please go cast your votes in the poll for the brew that we will be playing then. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.